back, YouTube. I know it's been a while. I haven't done any videos. I've been busy. We've been planning a wedding, and I've been working on this studio over here, getting this prepared so we can do some more videos. Today I want to talk about the passing of Merle Haggard and what that means to me and what it should mean to the country. Usually I'm not the kind of guy that gets all hung up on celebrities, like, oh, this guy was spotted today at McDonald's, or, in downtown Santa Barbara, or whatever, or, oh, he said this, or she said that, or look what this person's wearing. It's more than that. Merle Haggard isn't just some guy or some girl who became famous because their parents were famous, or their parents were rich, or he built his fame. He created his own way. And his story and how he got there is just such a great part of what this country truly represents, and the opportunity which this country gives. I mean, there's so many people crying that, their employer doesn't give them, pay for their housing, and they think the employer should give them everything, and they're just so ungrateful for what the opportunity this country has. And Merle Haggard just showed how you can be a dirt poor person whose life handed you a bad deal of cards, and it did for him. I mean, back in Oklahoma, his family's farm burned down. So the family came to California. He was born in a boxcar in Oildale. Now, I lived outside of Rosedale, which is outside of Bakersfield. My grandparents had a place in what I call New Oildale. But it's nothing like what old Oildale is, and trust me, that's that. So he was born in a boxcar in Oildale. His mom worked to make ends meet all day, and he was off running wild. He ends up going to prison, or he's been in a troubled childhood all of his life. He went to prison, was in and out of boys' homes. He was in one boys' home right here in Whittier, not too far from where I'm at. And so he ends up in prison, doing a bid in jail, and getting out, getting a job as an electrician or whatever, and building something, going out and performing in bars, and he paid his dues there in the music industry, got with Buck Owens, and became part of the Bakersfield sound, and then, for me, growing up, with my dad and my grandpa, and they were always hard-working guys, and like what you would call the silent majority, in the 60s, in the 70s, my dad and grandpa were working every day. They went to work, and they did their job. They couldn't go out. They didn't have the luxury of going out and holding up peace signs and going to college and disrespecting the rules and the college dean and all that stuff. And so Merle Haggard came out in that generation, and he gave a voice to those guys who were too busy to go out there and hold protest signs. They were busy working, changing oil, working on a fleet of plumbing trucks or something, So that was the one thing about him, is he, had those songs, Working Man Blues, Fight Inside of Me, Okie from Muskogee, Big City. I mean, I listened to his songs and I could think, God, he's talking about my dad. Like I said, he came from nothing, and then he made himself part of the fabric of this nation, really. I mean, you can't go anywhere. His songs are in the Library of Congress and stuff now. Mama Tried, all those songs, and those are all the songs that, all the, what I call the new fans of Merle Haggard are out there playing, all the sudden fans. You talk about relating to a song. If we make it through December, where he talks about the hard times that the holiday season bring with Christmas and all, man, that could have been my mom and dad. It was them. Every year, with 5 kids and 10 grandkids, trying to get through the holidays and put together meals and presents and all that stuff. Like I said, you know, my dad and grandpa, Working Man Blues, Big City, all those songs. Fight Inside of Me, even the heartbroken fools out there, you know, sitting down in the bar, dwelling on misery and gin. He had an impact on my life, and he had an impact on the way I think and stuff. And usually, like I said, I'm not for you getting your ideas, morals, things like that from a celebrity. Generally, I find that pretty dumb. But like everything else in life, it depends on the person, it depends on the thing, it depends on the circumstances. And Merle Haggard is one of the rare few celebrity type people that I would actually say is a good role model, a good somebody to idolize and imitate, you know. Not the stuff he did when he was younger, but the hardworking, speaking his mind, doing these things, going out, writing songs, speaking for those who can't speak for themselves. Another important song made me really think was is a song, I Wonder If They Think of Me. And if you've never heard that song, you need to Google it, but make sure you got some tissues, some Kleenex nearby, because you're going to need it. And if you're any kind of an American red-blooded person, that song will just put chills up your spine. In fact, Merle has had such an impact on my life, and an impact has been such, like I said, part of my life. One, from living in Bakersfield, two, to being pretty much my dad's favorite singer, and having seen him in concert. It's been so much part of my life that in my wedding, our wedding, I plan on walking up to the altar to a Merle Haggard song. Actually, it's a Lefty Frizzell song. It's called That's the Way Love Goes. That song really, it sums up how I feel about, you know, that stuff. But I don't want to get all sappy on you and whatnot. I'm a tool guy, not talk about your feelings guy. But not only are we losing these guys like Merle Haggard, but we're also losing that mindset, that mentality of he didn't let his life's failures, or not, I don't want to say failures, but his setbacks define who he was and stop him from going out and becoming something. He didn't just, you know, my dad died when I was 9, and you know, I was born into poverty, and it's all these rich people's fault, and it's the government's fault, and this. No, he went out, he made a few errors, he served his time, he did his thing, and he went out and worked hard and got where he needed to be. And that's what we need more of in this country, I think. You know, I'm gonna have a bunch of people calling me a right-wing conservative. Oh, you're da-da-da. Well, you know what? In another video, you're going to call me a left-wing hippie. I mean, that was another one of his great songs. You know, all of a sudden, Merle Haggard fans are posting Okie from Muskogee and all this stuff, but there's another song you need to Google or download. It's called Somewhere Between Divided Wings. Okay, and that's what he said. He says, you know, there are the people in the middle, the silent majority, who are in the middle of the right and the left. So, like I said, he had this voice of the common man, like everybody says, and that's true. And then he was also a symbol for it. I mean, he went out and did it. I can't stress that enough. You know, that's why I have the most respect for him, more than I respect any other celebrity or anybody out there. Because, I mean, the guy just, he is a symbol of what the country is about and what you can do. I mean, he was, you know, like I said, the son of poor Oklahoma immigrants, came to California, you know, made a few mistakes, got out of prison, and went on and became pretty much the voice of country music. I mean, everybody knew Okie from Muskogee, you know, Fight Inside of Me, Mama Tried. I had to, you know, do something and say something. He was my favorite singer. I can go on and on about his music and stuff, but you know, I am a tool guy. I'm part of the tool guys. Tools is using tools for work and building, and you know, the guys who use tools are the mechanics, the technicians, the bridge builders, the guys, the aircraft mechanics, the guys building airplanes, building railroad cars. They're out there building this country, making it roll, making it run, and he was the voice of those guys. He was a voice of that generation and of those guys who were sitting there working 40 hours or more than 40 hours and stuff, and they just couldn't go out and goof off. You know, he was the voice of the people who make this country what it is, and his death is it's a sad day for the whole country. It's a sad day for that generation of men. It's that kind of guys. So anyway, I can go on and on about it, but anyway, well, that's my opinion for the day, and if you like it, you can share these videos and subscribe, and if you don't, well, you're probably a Luke Bryan, Bernie Sanders fan or whatever, and I don't care. Anyway, I'll see you when I see you.